Hey guys. Sorry, meeting. I'm a Starbucks here. Few little updates of myself. I gave in to that part of my depression that I mentioned before, where I constantly change my looks and my hair because I don't like who I am or how I look. So, yeah, I got more blonde in my hair. I was gonna do something more drastic. It was going to be purple until the hairdresser, Amanda, just so happened to be at the head shop, who I highly recommend. She's really sweet and she's very honest with you especially about the price, because she told me what I wanted, the picture I showed her with all the products, minimum it would be $250 for like the shampoo, the cut, the bleaching, the dyes. That's how much it was going to cost at that store. So I was like, yeah, no. We were going to do something cheaper with purple, where it was just going to be like my ends were going to be purple. But as I sat there for a while, and after the blonde was toned, I was like, I like it the blonde. Leave it. It'll save me a little bit of money. And like, I realized that I was doing this because of that impulsive feeling that I wanted to be different. I wanted to change everything about myself and to try to make myself happy. But then I slowly started to realize that it's not going to change anything. So yeah. And also, on another random note, I have not a doctor's appointment because I can't get a hold of my family doctor, but I am going to the nurse practitioner. Hopefully they can sign for a rec for an ultrasound so I can check to see what's going on with my uterus / ovaries, because constant discomfort down there in my abdomen and everything, and I'm worried. I have the same thing my mom had. She had a lot of fibroids in the vessels, actually, the blood vessels of her uterus and ovaries, and she had a lot of cysts, and that's what her cyst in her ovary turned into. So I need to go get that checked, as I'm really worried about it. I don't want it to get out of hand and possibly a fibroid breaking off and causing a heart attack or a stroke. So yeah, so updates on that's gonna come when I hopefully get an appointment for it. I'm vlogging, waiting for McDonald's to turn over to their lunch, because I didn't realize how early it was. My clock's at a whack on one of them for some reason, and I wanted nuggets, so I'm waiting for that. But yeah, I was continuing the talk. I was talking about that relationship I was in that really affected me negatively, and I know I probably shouldn't talk about it, because that kind of gives the person more power, or realizing that they had this huge effect on me. But I need to talk about it, because I need to realize where things are rooted, and try to keep reminding myself and keep telling myself, like watching myself and telling myself and talking out loud, saying that Tyler is not this previous boyfriend. I'm not in that relationship. We're in a totally different relationship for the past 6 years. Like, and it seems ridiculous that it's still affecting me to this day. But it's just like kind of engraved in my brain and my reflexes and responses. Like I feel like the smallest thing I do or say is going to cause Tyler to break up with me, because there was never any physical abuse. It wasn't even verbally. Like, he never said anything until I refused to go back with him. That's when he started calling me a bitch and a whore and whatever, because he thought that, I was cheating on him with Tyler for some reason, but it's like we weren't even together. I just talked to Tyler. Like, me and Tyler didn't get intimate until like 6 months into us actually dating. But anyway, yeah, it was mostly emotional, mental manipulation, sort of. It's really hard to describe, and I'm still trying to grasp what really was going on with this relationship. Like there were good days, and a lot of, no matter what kind of abusive relationship it is, that you have the good days, and then there's the bad days, but eventually it gets to more bad days than good days. And it was back and forth of, like, he cheated on me at one point, though, at another, and he apologized profusely for it, and then he immediately turned it over to where it was my fault because I wasn't putting out, because I didn't want to have sex for some reason. I don't know where it came from, but I did not want to have sex until I was 18. It was just my worry legally, and I know there's protection you can have so that you don't get pregnant, but that 99% wasn't good enough for me. The 99% with condoms, the 99% with birth control, it was not enough. I was like, that 1% scares the crap out of me. So I didn't want it until I was an adult, and I, had my high school diploma, and all that stuff was behind me. But eventually I slowly got guilted into it. And I don't want to be one of those people that are like accusing rape, because I do blame myself for that situation, because I gave in, and I gave into the guilt trips and the manipulation of it. And I don't even know if he realized how manipulating he was being. It was just the guilt ate at me, and I eventually gave in. And eventually it wasn't as traumatic as it was the first time, because I'll get into a little more detail in another video, because it's something I really need a lot of focus and emotional strength to talk about, because it's very complicated. But yeah, I've always been a pushover, and that relationship, until I got out of it and looked back, realizing how naive and how much of a pushover I was.